elephant's sitting on us. The elephant's not in the room. It's sitting on us, and I want out of the elephant's rear end.
Well, listen, that's the point that I'm trying to make, is exactly that. Because what they're going to do, by the time Election Day comes, and the economy is in much worse shape than it is now, count on a terror strike, more war. You saw how effectively that terror bandwagon rolls. Go back 4 days, April 27th, before Osama or Barack Osama Obama, whoever, before he hit the stage and said, our core interests and those of our allies are at stake, so I'm going to war against Libya. Go back 4 days before. Osama Ben Bernanke, public enemy #1, gave the first ever press conference of the Federal Reserve. By the time he finished his dog and pony show, gold prices shot up, $20 an ounce. Silver spiked. The dollar hit a 3-year low against a trade-weighted basket of currency.
Nobody buys what these crooks say anymore.
But what happened 4 days later, when Osama was back in the news, hey, we fitted him with these cement shoes, and now he's swimming with the fishes. I mean, who could believe this story? Commodity prices dove. Gold fell from 1570s down to around 1500. The power of Osama, Barack Osama Hussein, whatever his name is, whatever his passport says.
It was irrational exuberance. High five, and we won. Everything's fine. Meanwhile, the bankers are just stealing everything, setting up mafia deals where, oh, you don't have to get insurance if you're an Obama insider. Your company doesn't. Oh, you're GE. You can build more power plants. You get a waiver. I mean, everything they do is total mafia right out of the classic book. But, oh, we were taught, like you said, that archetype, only Italians are involved in organized crime, not the blank fines, not the Bushes, no, not the Dominique Strauss-Kahns, only those Italians. No anybody else, anybody who's old with a bald head and a suit, you got to fall down, open your wrist up to them, give them all your money, give them your whole future. They now admit the average household owes... Well, I saw a number like 527,000. Here's USA Today per household, just on one part of unfunded future promises. So it isn't 14-something trillion. It's in the hundreds and hundreds of trillions. We could have already paid all this off, but they have signed us on to the fiat Ponzi rat droppings that Bernanke and Paulson and before him, Greenspan and the end of Glass-Steagall, these droppings they left, and then they make us pay to literally eat their droppings, and they tell us that it's the finest filet mignon when it's a steaming pile of horse dung. America, the world, the Swiss, these are the criminals. They're not going to stop. I'm sorry, Gerald.
Well, that's it, and that's very important, because what I'm saying is by the time the elections come in 2012, the people are going to be cheering on. They're going to, whether it's a false flag, which most likely, or something real because the United States keeps starting wars all over the world, the mind won't be on the economy. They're going to do a Bush. And I can see it happening. The first great war of the 21st century has begun. Look what's not making the news. Albania. They're starting war over there again. The people are fed up with the criminal system. You're going to see it in Romania, Bulgaria, Latvia, Lithuania, Hungary, the spring, the Arab Spring that they call. Now we're going to see a European summer, and get ready for a world winter. They're leading us to war. They're going to divert our attention. Listen to Bernie Madoff, the king of Ponzi. He did an interview in New York Magazine over the telephone, and he said two things. He said, when I got into Wall Street, I realized you had to be a member of the club and the game is rigged. Number two, he said it's nothing more than one big Ponzi scheme. This is coming from the king of Ponzi. It's a Ponzi scheme. They're suckering in the people by shoving that money out there to keep the scam going. It's going to collapse, but our minds will be off it. Alex, the timeline. The crash of 29, the Great Depression, currency wars, trade wars. The panic of 08, the Great Recession, which is a depression, currency wars, trade wars, World War II in the 30s, the first great war of the 21st century in 2012 and beyond.
It's incredible. And now they're announcing, and they said they do this years ago. I've laid it all out for listeners, explained it. First, they take the belt off, take the shoes off, take the jacket off. Now we're going to touch the outside of your pants. Now we're going to touch the inside. Now you got to go in the scanner. Well, don't worry. You don't have to put your hands up now. And they've announced it, and they've released photos of it. You have trusted traveler, normal, and untrusted. And it's a whole new judicial system where there's no judge, no jury. You're just put on the no-fly list. 2 million Americans now on it. And then they say you can't buy guns now. They want to just extrajudicially, because the FBI has the NICS system, not a law. They just say, oh, you can't have a gun, but I don't even have a misdemeanor. We say, well, why do you say? Well, we say, so if you're on the list, you go through the full grope down, the body scan, the interrogation. Normal, you just go through a body scan. But if you're a good little slave, you walk through and retina scan your retina. If you've enrolled and gotten permission from them to just have to retina scan. But they said sometimes we're still going to grope you anyway. So it's like, oh, we got, and the headlines are how they've got all these wonderful new systems. Former TSA officer sentenced to 30 months for taking bribes. Sorry, that's a new article out of New Jersey Today. Here's one. Coming to an airport near you, iris scans. Here's another one. Airlines aim to take hassle out of security checks. See, they always act like, oh, it's the new thing to make it better. Just like Obama said, don't worry, you can ride on the new national train system in his State of the Union that they'll never build. And there won't be checkpoints there or body scanners. He knew full well for 7 years they've been doing drills and spot checks. Now they're rolling out nationwide, even at high school proms. It's the total national security force training you that they have mobile vans, checkpoints. They're going to search everybody. They're getting us ready for martial law, Gerald, under another name. And notice they're now announcing all of this. And Al-Qaeda is supposedly led by Adam Perlman, a.k.a. Gaddafi, who's Jewish, and his granddaddy ran the ADL, but whatever. Okay, Al-Qaeda follows the ADL guy. And he says, oh, those gun shows, it's so wonderful. We can get guns and kill Americans. The media's like, we got to ban the gun shows and ban semi-auto now because of Al-Qaeda. I mean, it's so clear. They make it up. They use it. It's all theater, Gerald.
Alex, you talked about martial law. I'm urging everyone to consider economic martial law because that's what's going to happen next. Just as 9/11 happened, whether or not it was real or whatever, the fact is 2 buildings came down and the Pentagon was whacked. How it happened, forget it. The issue is they closed Wall Street. If you had certificates of deposit, you couldn't cash them in. I know because I tried. What I'm doing, and only speaking for myself, I urge those that can think for themselves to consider making sure you don't have a lot of money in the bank because you ain't going to get it out. And if you have your gold stored there or somewhere else in one of those federal institutions, kiss it goodbye. And if they do let you get your money out, that dollar won't be worth a dime. It's hardly worth a dime now. Look what it's doing against the basket of currencies because they're going to devalue it. And don't worry, you won't be able to get it out at all.
Gerald, stay there. Stay there. This is key information. You're absolutely right. They're gearing up for it. They've changed the banking rules to be able to do it. They're now kicking down doors with federal SWAT teams over unpaid college dues. It's on. Economic martial law, the poorhouse. All right, Gerald Celente's final segment. I've been ranting. He's got so much for us. I didn't even ask him during the break. He's probably got to go here at the 1-minute break. If he wants to go 5 minutes in the next hour, he can. So much happening, Gerald. What else is on your radar screen that we haven't talked about or discussed today?
I'd like to pick up what you were talking about with the TSA and groping and how people just submit. I just flew out of Newark and I wouldn't go through the x-ray machine, so I opted out. But as I'm waiting online, I'm watching the sheeple go through. And I was thinking to myself, they could have the freight train on the other side of the door, and they would just get in and take them off to the FEMA camps, and they wouldn't say a peep. And I have to say how discouraged I am at the lack of courage that people have. And then, you know, going through the whole routine. I mean, come on, you know, let's stop with this terrorist stuff. Yeah, I look like the kind of guy that's going to blow the plane up. And if I wanted to blow something up, I mean, do I have to get on a plane to do it? You know, so this is all a scam. But I have to tell you how discouraged I am to see the people so willfully submit. And they're going to continue to willfully submit, just as they did, as they all applauded Osama, Obama, Barack Hussein, whatever his name is.
And by the way, whenever terrorist Al-Qaeda blows up a World Trade Center or something like that, I've gone out at night. People are buying steaks, beer. It's fun to watch the people dying and to feel hurt and get upset. That's how decadent a large portion of the population is. They didn't get scared. They got excited like it was a spectacle, and then it's fun to give your rights up, and, oh, then the government anthrax gets mailed, and it's fun to get scared of that. But that's a group that's going to suck their thumbs. There's a growing group, a minority, but it's approaching a majority, that is not going to be slaves, and that's what the globalists need to understand. They're not going to be able to beat us, and we're identifying them, and we're not going into this long night. We are going to stop their world government takeover.
That's right. And, you know, I remember being on your show recently when Fukushima broke out, and you and I were adamant about it, that you were showing the footage of this thing blowing up, and we're saying, no, this is a meltdown. And how they lied. How they lied. And they keep lying. And the people, it's out of the news. Nobody's talking about it.
No, they said it was a conspiracy theory when that people were saying that they'd had meltdown. Now they admit 3 total meltdowns, including a plutonium reactor blowing rods 3,000 feet in the sky, at least 10 times worse now total. And we had scientists on who had the meters and said isotopes are being released that are only released in beyond meltdown, actual mini nuclear explosions, Gerald. And it's incredible. They knew the whole time.
They knew the whole time, and they're lying to us every day, every minute. And I listen to these Republicans. You know, I'm a political atheist. I don't believe in either of these mafia parties. And I'm listening to them now about, you know, we have to cut back on the budget. Not one peep about cutting the defense budget. And what are they talking about? We have to keep our guns aimed in Afghanistan. And what are they going to do? They're going to bring in soldiers of the Fortune 500 into Iraq. They're pulling out the soldiers and then putting in the defense contractors, mercenaries. And another thing, Alex, another trend that everybody should pay a lot of attention to, and it ties in with so many of your advertisers, and if you're going to make money and stay alive and stay healthy, look at this E. coli outbreak. Look how they're pushing that out of the news.
Stay there, stay there. Can you do 5 more minutes and finish up with that?
I can.
Okay, good, good. Gerald Celente is our guest. Coming up a little bit later in the hour, live from Bilderberg. Continual coverage at Infowars.com. Don't forget the Google key search term, protest Bilderberg, or Bilderberg protest. Bilderberg protest. By the way, I've done 2 hours of transmission. Haven't even plugged the videos, the books, the T-shirts, the online video bookstore at Infowars.com. That's how we fund ourselves. So if you believe in this Bilderberg group reportage, please support us. I'll tell you who paid for most of the trip, which is very expensive, and the equipment, a lot of it is Ted Anderson, Midas Resources. I'm going to be plugging that later, but he's got some great deals on gold and silver, so please think about Ted Anderson and Midas Resources, 800-686-237 when you're making your gold and silver purchases. Got some really exciting news. Gerald, even on national news, usually only does 30 minutes, but he's going to stay with us 20 minutes into this hour to take a few of your questions on trends, specifically only for Gerald Celente, folks. 1-800-259-9231, 1-800-259-9231 for specific questions for Gerald Celente coming up in the next segment. And later in the hour, live video reports from Switzerland at Bilderberg with Aaron Dykes and Paul Watson. Gerald, you were getting into the E. coli and how they keep blaming this organic food, that organic food, and moving down the line when it's clearly genetically engineered, and they're going to use this to try to have government clamp down further on farms and ranches to help big agro. Gerald Celente.
Well, that's it.